Home is where the heart is, and in the case of some of these luxurious mansions, it's where the heart was. Murderous scenes have unfolded in some, others have housed controversial superstars, while some are just so personalized you'll feel like you've woken up in Chris Brown's body. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Hello, A-Luxers! We're going house hunting today and finding out why some luxurious mansions are just unsellable, and why some mansions are just too much house, too little class, and standing empty till goodness knows when. Number 1. Granot Loma, Lake Superior, Michigan. Sprawling across 5,000 acres is the biggest log cabin in the U.S. It boasts 23 bedrooms, 4 separate apartments with outbuildings, hot tubs, and a private harbor. The furnished property is full of paintings and artifacts and would make the perfect hunting lodge, possibly attracting guests from around the world. The log cabin was built between 1919 and 1923 by Louis Graverade Kaufman at a cost of $5 million, around $70 million today. It's registered on the National Register of Historic Places. Tom Baldwin, a bond trader in Chicago, bought the mansion in 1987 and is trying to sell still. The asking price? $40 million, so not an easy sell to begin with. But what else has prevented this beauty from being sold? Sadly, the remoteness of the lodge and the age of the building is contributing to that. And despite a 50% reduction on the sale price, bringing the asking price down to $20 million, the log cabin remains unsold. Number 2. The S.K. Pierce Mansion, Massachusetts. It's not valued at much. In fact, the asking price for the mansion at one stage was $329,000. You'd expect it to be an easy sell, but with several deaths documented within its walls, the sale went stale and the mansion remained empty for many years. Built in 1875 by Sylvester K. Pierce, the home has 10 bedrooms, 11-foot-high ceilings, exquisite marble fireplaces, and the original flooring, windows, hinges, and doorknobs, all in great condition. Sadly, though, the reputation of being one of the most haunted houses in New England doesn't bode well when trying to sell, and stories of a little boy staring at you from the front window or a soulless woman wandering the halls are not going to help. When a house like this doesn't sell, then you need a man like Robert Conti. He procured the home not to live in, rather to create a haunted house experience that you'll never forget. The paranormal activities reported by dozens of people entering the mansion abound, and the house may never be lived in by living people again, but the ghosts don't seem to mind scaring the crap out of anyone brave enough to enter. Number 3. Palazzo di Amore, Beverly Hills, California. This gorgeous home has a main bedroom bigger than most houses. It's said to be one of the most expensive residential addresses in the USA and features 12 bedrooms, 23 bathrooms, a bowling alley, entertainment complex, tennis court, 2 swimming pools, a 10,000-square-foot wine cellar, ballroom with a DJ booth and a revolving dance floor, a wine-producing vineyard, and parking for 150 cars. It was bought by Jeff Green for $35 million, and he spent several years renovating it. The mansion has been on the market several times and as of November 2019 has been relisted for $129 million. It's unclear as to why the mansion is not selling, but we're thinking the $129 million price tag might be just a little out of most people's budgets. Number 4. Stone Mansion, Alpine, New Jersey. With every amenity your heart could imagine, why was the Stone Mansion not an easy sell? When it first came onto the market in 2010, it was the most expensive listing in the Garden State, with an asking price of $68 million. Now, the asking price is just $33 million. Featured on The Secret Lives of the Super Rich, the developer and owner Richard Kurtz was proud to show off the gold finishes, baccarat chandeliers, wood-paneled rooms, jacuzzi, saltwater pool, and its subterranean basketball court that could be changed into a pool. But despite all of these features, interest was thin. One of the reasons these spec homes don't sell so well is they're usually built for the owner's exclusive tastes, cutting off potential buyers who need to spend too much money converting the home into something better suited for themselves. The Stone Mansion is still on the market. Number 5. Lynwood Hall, Philadelphia. Built between 1897 and 1900, Lynwood Hall in Philly has housed some of the most incredible art in the world. Peter Arrell Brown Widener loved his art, and his estate matched his artistic passion. He's one of the richest Americans in history, and his mansion boasted 55 bedrooms, 20 bathrooms, and a ballroom for 1,000 guests. Between 1915 to 1940, the public could make an appointment to view the extensive gallery. During World War II, the grounds were used to train dogs and then suffered major decline when it was taken over by the Faith Theological Seminary in 1952. As of May 2019, the property has been on the market for $11 million, and it's estimated that it will cost a further $50 million to return it to its former glory. And coming up, the king of pop might be gone, but his ranch lives on to survive another day. Keep with us. Number 6. Schweppe Mansion, Lake Forest, Illinois. Gifted to their daughter Laura and her husband-to-be Charles Schweppe, Mr. and Mrs. John G. Shedd gave them Schweppe Mansion in 1917. The beautiful mansion has over 425 feet of lakefront, 12 bedrooms, over a dozen bathrooms, beautiful fireplaces, and sprawling gardens, but it also has a tragic history. Charles Schweppe committed suicide in the main bedroom, leaving a note that read, "I've been awake all night. It's terrible." Nobody knew his exact reason behind the suicide. After Laura died, the mansion remained empty for 46 years. It was bought in 1987, restored, and then been on and off the market ever since. The asking price has fluctuated anywhere between $8 million to $18 million, and it's still on the market today for almost $8.5 million. Number 7. Vincent's Mansion, Connecticut. Vincent tried for 12 years to get his Connecticut mansion sold. He eventually got it right by reducing the price by up to 84%. He first listed his mansion in 2007 for $18.5 million, and he only received $2.9 million in 2019. He bought the house from Mike Tyson in 2003 for $4.2 million. The house included an indoor and outdoor swimming pool, games rooms, hot tubs, recording studio, basketball court, nightclub, 21 bedrooms, 25 bathrooms, and a green screen room. The property was eventually bought by Casey Asker, the owner of several fast food restaurants. Number 8. Neverland Ranch, Santa Barbara County, California. It was on the market for 5 years, but the listing was removed in 2020 when it just never sold. The original asking price was $100 million, and for that price, you would get a 2,700-acre property that once belonged to Michael Jackson. The Neverland Ranch, now called Sycamore Valley Ranch, has a main residence comprising of 12,598 square feet, 2 guest houses, a movie theater for 50 people, and a small train station. Over the 5 years, the asking price was dropped substantially, and even at its lowest in 2019 at $31 million, attracted no buyers. And it's not just the connection to Michael Jackson that detracts buyers, but the remoteness and upkeep of the property are also big factors. Number 9. Los Feliz Mansion, Los Angeles. What should have been the dream home of a family turned out to be dubbed Murder Mansion. On the 6th of December 1959, Dr. Harold Perelson murdered his wife, severely beat his daughter, and then took his own life. From that night and for another 50 years, the mansion stood empty. It was purchased the year after the murder, but only used for storage. It was inherited by the new owner's son, who refused to live in it. The mansion eventually sold in 2016 for $2.3 million, but it was quickly put back on the market. If you've got the money and are up for staying in a home with such tragic history, it's still on the market. Number 10. Tommy Hilfiger's Plaza Penthouse. It took a massive 11 years for Tommy Hilfiger to sell his Plaza Hotel penthouse. It eventually sold in October 2019 to Terry Taylor, the largest private owner of automotive dealerships in the U.S. He bought the property for $31.25 million after it had been on the market for $80 million. Besides being deemed completely overpriced, the apartment also had a very quirky, personalized interior, which wasn't everyone's cup of tea. The penthouse spans 6,000 square feet with views of Fifth Avenue and Central Park. Inside, you'll find murals from Hilary Knight, who is the illustrator of Eloise, the children's book about the little girl who lives in the Plaza Hotel. And Luxers, if you love house hunting, you'll love our video, The Top 10 Most Expensive Homes 2020. Number 11. Carleton Island Villa, Cape Vincent, New York. It's yours for only $495,000, and you'd be owning a piece of real estate that once belonged to typewriter entrepreneur William Wyckoff. Sadly, a month before moving in, his wife died from cancer. On the night that William did move in, he died of a heart attack at the age of 60. Their younger son Clarence inherited the mansion, but the family lost their fortune during the Great Depression. They sold the mansion to General Electric in the 30s. The mansion has not been lived in since 1927. Number 12. Billionaires Row, London. This time it's not just one mansion, but several houses across a mile-long street in London that are empty and unsellable. The Bishop's Avenue has 66 mansions worth roughly $620 million. The history of the owners is colorful, including murderers, swindlers, tax evaders, royalty, and even Justin Bieber, albeit very briefly when he was renting there. And Elton John has even sung about this street. Many of the homes are falling apart and with such a strange history are not exactly being snapped up by buyers. Those that are holding onto their crumbling mansions are more concerned about the value of the land than the buildings resting upon it. Urban explorers are not complaining though and enjoying posting videos of their finds in these derelict mansions. Number 13. Pineheath House, Harrogate, Yorkshire. This mansion once belonged to Sir Dungieboy and Lady Beaumonji, respected members of British high society, who owned 3 exquisite homes. They spent their autumns at Pineheath. Lady Beaumonji died in 1986, and the house has been untouched since then. The future of the mansion was uncertain for quite some time, and it went on and off the market. There was talks about building luxury apartments on the land, and other reports suggested it would be returned to its former glory. The most recent update, January of 2020, confirmed that planning applications had been requested, but with COVID-19, there hasn't been any room for moving forward with anything. Number 14. Villa de Vecchi, Cortenova, Italy. If you were looking for a fairy tale, this would not be it. Built between 1854 and 1857, this was meant to be the summer home for Count Felix de Vecchi, head of the Italian National Guard. Nicknamed Red House, Ghost Mansion, and Casa delle Strenghe, this mansion has been knocked by one tragedy after the next. It was way ahead of its time and had many modern amenities, including indoor heating pipes. The gardens and home were exquisite, but the family didn't live there long. In 1862, the Count came home to discover his wife had been murdered and his daughter kidnapped. He searched relentlessly for her but was never able to find her, and he committed suicide. The Count's brother inherited the house, and he stayed there until World War II when he left for good. The house has had several owners since then but was abandoned during the 1960s. There are rumors of orgies, sacrifices, murders, and suicides all happening there, and this was the only remaining house left after an avalanche destroyed all others in 2002. It is not believed that this mansion will sell anytime soon. Number 15. Michael Jordan's mansion, Chicago. He put his mansion on the market in 2012 and it's still struggling to sell. He originally wanted $29 million for it, and it's now listed at $14.9 million after several price drops. Jordan tried to sweeten the deal by including a complete set of Air Jordans with the purchase price, but still no luck. The 56,000 square foot mansion was built from scratch and was aligned to his personal tastes, which is one of the main reasons why the mansion isn't selling. The new buyer would need to spend a lot of money to make it their own. The mansion features a basketball court, a pool with a grass island in the middle, and even a door from the Playboy Mansion. You would think with the release of the documentary The Last Dance it would help Jordan sell this house, but it didn't. The Last Dance was filmed at his Jupiter, Florida home, which is where Jordan likes to hang his hat. Alright, A-Luxers, we're at the end. Which of these luxury mansions would you consider purchasing if the price was right? Let us know in the comments. And for sticking with us until the end, here's your bonus. McMansion. They say you'll know one when you see one. These mansions are too much house, too little class, and there are so many of them standing vacant without any interest from buyers. These homes were considered quite affluent in the late 80s and 90s and even early 2000s, but are now considered cookie-cutter homes and dubbed starter castles, Hummer houses, and Garage Mahal. You'll recognize them by their large garages, short driveways, brick facades, fake window shutters, strangely proportioned windows, cheap neoclassical elements, unproportionate, oh, you get the picture, and definitely empty with a for sale sign outside. Thank you for spending some time with us, A-Luxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question on our website, Alux.com. Thank you for being an A-Luxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.